see, 180 people. We'll just watch whether the food continues. It is. The food's still going down. Ooh. Okay. What we could try is another gatherer over here. Let's just keep them on this side if we can, though. It's gonna have to be there, isn't it? Oh, let's just have a look over. Well, there's barely anything to be gathered over this side, so I suppose we might as well include it. Go on, we'll have a gatherer there. And in that case we would need a bridge. To there. I think we're going to need more food. Can we fit another fisherman anywhere? Maybe somewhere like here? If we can fit a fisherman somewhere where we're not actively gathering, that would be perfect. Just can't fit one on there, which is a shame. What about this way round? Now we could actually fit a fisherman there. He's not got a huge lot of water to fish, but we're not using that land for anything else. Well, nothing else food producing. And that there's not bad either. What I like about it, God, it's a challenge, this game. I like that you never know what's gonna hit you next. The first time I played the game and got past the first winter, I really took the game for granted. I thought I'd sort of defeated it at that point. Oh God, reserves of food is low. Yeah. I wasn't playing a really hard map. I'd started it on one of the easier settings, and I had disasters on, but it wasn't a mountainous map. It was quite easy. I got through the first winter. Everything was looking fine, and I thought that was it. I'd done it, and I was just growing my town. And I ran out of tools and it killed me, and that was in maybe year 200 or something like that. I was so surprised. I don't know of another survival game where you can get through the early game, struggle and fight your way through the early game, and then lose it in the mid game or the late game. It's a challenge the whole way through. and yeah, you're just always on your toes. Yeah, I think running out of tools, you just don't realise on your first game at least how important tools are, just how critical they are, because once you run out of tools, turning it around from there is so hard. Now, turning it round from this is not going to be easy either, because we are going to run out of food. And when that happens, the villagers are gonna do something quite strange. Have I maxed everything out? I'll tell you what we could do is get rid of some of this stone here. Didn't realise that there was still a little bit in there. Have we got any iron? Nope. Must be just one boulder. What's the population up to now? 99. Yeah, I've grown my population just way too fast in the last few years. Yeah, what happens with the tools is most of your villagers can do most of their jobs without the necessary tools. So a hunter can hunt without tools. Like if we click on any of these villages, you'll see she's working with a steel tool and she's a gatherer. So that steel tool will be what? Something like a trowel or something like that. If they don't have a tool, so herbalist using steel tools, if they don't have tools, then they become terribly, terribly inefficient. So that even goes for our fishermen. So fishermen are using fishing poles. Oh, good, we're back up to 1,000. I just don't know whether we're going to make it. Don't know. And I don't know whether I'm best staying hands off and letting it stabilise, or carrying on and trying to find more places to put fishermen. Steel tools that like we're using here are quite a bit more efficient than iron tools. So they're worth going for if you can. Oh, close. But you need a coal mine to be able to get steel tools. Okay, food's up to... Every time I say the words food is up to, it drops again. Our population is down to 197, which is right on the cusp of being able to feed ourselves. See how these new fishermen are performing. It didn't have a full previous season, so 100's not bad. Now this fisherman over here, he was turning in about 500. Oh, yeah, so it hasn't harmed him. Putting it again, that's that one and this one. I don't think they've had a full season. Yeah, these fishermen are doing their job, and I thought it might impact this one because their zones overlap. This one that I wasn't sure would bring in anything, brought in almost 600 food. Okay. Because he's just got this tiny little creek to fish from there. And I I just gave, I don't know, I realised at some point when I was watching lots of YouTube videos um, and I had this sort of revelation one day where I realised that I was following the same people, the same group of people. I was watching them playing videos. I watched the Mindcrackers a lot, but a lot of other smaller channels as well. And you sort of get to know people through watching their videos. They talk about themselves and their lives, and I did start to feel like I was part of a community. And I sort of realised that one day, and I thought that maybe I'd rather be an active member of a community rather than a passive member. I'd not long got my new computer, which was like my old Mac wouldn't have been capable of streaming and playing at the same time. It's just too old. But my new computer, I knew it'd be capable, so I just one day I downloaded the broadcasting software and just started. And I really surprised myself with how much I enjoy it. The broadcasting software that I use is free, so yeah, if you fancy it, give it a go. I recommend it. It's I use the OBS, the Open Broadcast Software, I think it's called. And it's really easy. I don't understand anything about the settings that I use. I just copy what I'm told, the settings that they advise you to use for streaming. So I have my Twitch account anyway for watching. It's really easy. It's really easy and it's so much fun. And then once you've been streaming like I've been doing today, if you want to, Twitch will store this video that I'm making now, or this broadcast I'm doing now. Twitch will record it for me, and it'll stay recorded for 2 weeks before Twitch deletes it, in which time I can make highlights and put the highlight videos on YouTube, which was how I got into YouTubing as well, was just because I was already twitching, and Twitch said, why don't you download your videos to YouTube? And I thought, yeah, okay, give it a go, and I did, and I found I enjoyed that too. But yeah, give it a go, guys. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel, same name, it's Salford Sal, and it's mostly what you see me playing on, other than Prison Architect, which I play mostly offline. I don't stream very often. Everything else is just what I'm doing on Twitch, except I cut out the grindy bits. I make highlight videos. I just sort of chop bits in and glue them together. Right, food. Oh god, look at the health. My god, this is not looking good, guys. It really isn't looking good. What's our population? 98. Well, population at least has stopped growing. Can I fit another fisherman in somewhere? Oh no, you can ask as many questions as you like. It's quite nice actually answering questions, because when things are going, because at the moment things are going badly wrong with food, and I just don't know whether or not we're going to survive. It shouldn't kill the village, because what will happen is the population will just shrink. People will starve. We'll maybe lose half the population. All the people who are doubled up in houses will start to spread out, but a lot of the older people will take them up. So if we have a big die-off in the population, that will solve our current crisis. Create a whole bunch of new ones, but let's just increase. We'll need a builder to be able to do anything with this. But yeah, because we're we're heading for a crisis here. Yeah, it's quite nice to be answering questions. It's a bit of a distraction, because otherwise I'd just sort of look at the screen in a slight state of panic. I do wonder whether I shouldn't just knock down the odd house to have that, like, forcibly reduce the population. It's a tricky one. Oh, did you see that there? Somebody momentarily ran out of food. Well, that wouldn't be to do with the lack of food in storage, more likely to do with the lack of distribution of food. Alright, we've got lots of people dying of starvation now. We'll see our cemetery starting to fill up quite fast as well. Wow. That barn's empty completely. Bit of food in there. Oh, we're down a forester. Uh-oh, we're actually out of labourers. Labourers move the produce around. Let's actually take some of the foresters out. Yeah, that people are walking long distances. I'm not entirely sure of what mechanic makes them do that. But I know once they get into starvation mode, they do strange things. They focus on getting themselves food rather than doing their normal task. So fishermen. Right, let's start cutting down on. Not going to need quite so many woodcutters anymore. We're not worried about a builder. Okay. I think we need to keep the labourers up, the quantity of labourers up, so that the food moves between the barns. Because I know they all need a local barn with food in to be able to supply the houses. But it does look like most of the barns have got some food in. Okay. There's not much that we can cut down on the herbalist. cut down on the foresters. We need to keep the woodcutter, we need at least some wood constantly going, otherwise they'll freeze. Okay. Yeah, they're doing their starvation dance now, where they're not focused on, like, the fishermen stop fishing because they're too busy walking around trying to find food. But I did think that we wouldn't hit this point while there was still stored food in the barns. We just keep on reducing the numbers and making sure that we keep labourers. See if we can manage the decline of the village. So even though we're feeding such a much reduced population now, we've actually got less food in storage than we had before. We've actually had somebody die of old age. A couple of people. Now what we should see, once we've got through this phase, is our food supplies will increase, because we're definitely, let's reduce the gatherers a little. Actually, we'll increase the fishermen a bit. Yeah, so our foods will start to increase again, but then we're going to go through a population boom.